Hi guys, Cords here. I wanted to talk to you about Warriors today. I'm taking a little bit of break from my Bard, and I'm gonna actually play my Warrior, but I wanted to talk about pros and cons of the different races that you can be as a Warrior, and just explain why I chose what I chose. Though I'm probably gonna play more than one Warrior. I'll probably get my first Warrior to level 50 or 99, whatever the level cap is, then take that gear and then move to an ogre. And I'll explain that later as well. So, human. Human is the first race. This is your cookie cutter race, meaning that every stat is 75. So you have a good base for anything you want to be: warrior, monk, rogue, paladin, everything that's listed over there. They also have the ability to increase their armor, attack, and health regen and mana regen as their racial skill. So that's great. Some downsides to that is that their stats start low for a warrior, meaning that whenever you're thinking about playing them, you have to think about the fact that it's going to take you a lot of gear to get them up to the quality of warrior that, say, another classes like ogre or troll or a barbarian. Um, but it either way, it's still going to be a good base class. You're not going to be too good. You're not going to be too bad. You're just going to be okay. So the next class is the barbarian. And the only reason I went with the barbarian is because though they don't start with the same quality of strength and stamina as an ogre or troll, they do start with a good amount of strength and stamina. Um, And so that's why I went with them. Also, the fact I wanted a racial skill, which, to be honest, I don't even use the racial skill now that I'm higher level. It only lasts for 6 to 8 seconds, and all it does is increase physical and magical damage. What it's talking about for magical damage is if you're shaman, or it may also include the fact that weapons have certain damage types that they do, like electricity, cold, fire. So I think that is also boosted. Um, the cons are that, unlike the human, it has a negative experience bonus, um, which means that it's going to be around 5 to 7% negative experience bonus compared to a human. So you're going to have to kill more things to level versus a human. Um, that's really not a problem because the gear that you get has experience bonus on it, so it really won't be that bad. It won't affect it too much. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, which is the wood elf. The wood elf, it, it's not that it's a bad warrior, because with the high agility and the high dex, you do have great dodge, parry, and repose. I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly, but um, those stats are what keep you alive, is being able to dodge and parry the attacks that are coming in. He also, Mayflin said that it may be possible, in a reply to another person on the forum, that it may be possible to add proccable weapons, or clicky weapons. If he is able to add proccing weapons, procs are based on the amount of dex you have. At least that's how it is in EverQuest. So you want to make sure that you have high dex, and what you want to do is at level 50 or 99, whatever the highest level is going to be, you want to make sure that your strength at 50 is at least 255, stamina is 255, agility is 255, and dex is 255. Um, and that's a lot harder with, say, the wood elf, the human, the halfling, the gnome, because you're starting out with low strength and stamina stats, but they have positives like better agility and dex. The other thing about the wood elf that's kind of nice is it has a racial skill that boosts agility and dexterity, which again it may not be helpful at the beginning, but it will be helpful in fights where you're fighting four things and your health is going down fast. What it'll do is it'll boost the chance to be able to parry and dodge the attacks that are being that you're being hit by. Let's go ahead and go to Dark Elf. Again, low strength and stamina, but high agility and a good amount of dex. This is another one of those that I think what makes people want to play a wood elf or a dark elf, a half elf, a gnome, or halfling is the fact that it's a challenge. Um, but the nice thing about the dark elf is it adds another heal. Um, it absorbs the damage that you do to your target. So so you will be healed between one and whatever based on the amount of damage that you do. This is why I chose Dark Elf as my Necromancer, because whenever you have three or four dots going, it's, the heal is just outstanding, especially at the higher levels. Again, the cons, you actually get a negative experience bonus around 9%. Again, I don't know if he has these negative bonuses, experience bonuses in the game or not, but I'm just going based off of how they were in EverQuest. So they're going to have a negative bonus. Half Elf. They have a good amount of strength, just like the human. They're kind of one of those even starting classes. They have nice agility and nice dex. This is why I went with the half elf for my bard, is because it has good overall stats for the races that can be a bard. And so that's the pros are is that you have an increase to all attributes with your racial skill. Cons, again, it's a gearing issue. Dwarf. Dwarf has a negative experience bonus, but it's not really that bad. It's not as bad as, say, the ogre, the troll, or the dark elf. But they do have a negative. The nice thing here is it's conformed nice warrior stats. Also, you can see they have nice wisdom. This is a good reason to play a dwarf paladin as well. They also have a reduced to all physical damage on the racial skill, which is also great. Gnome. This is one of the funniest. If you played EverQuest, this was one of the funniest warriors you could run into because they look hilarious in plate armor. They are so tiny, but there was actually more gnome warriors than you would expect. Again, it's about being a challenge, has the lowest strength, but again, with gear, all warriors are equal. So you just have to work a little bit harder to get the gear for this class, but it's gonna be something that's kind of fun. You do have a negative experience bonus, but it's not that bad. Also, you'll notice that it has high intelligence, so it's great. Main caster, it's also a cleric, and it looks like I had forgot about this, but later on, gnomes actually can become Shadow Knights, and that's where a lot of people went. Is people who were playing warriors, they changed to Shadow Knights when gnomes had that ability come up. I don't think that's um, until 3 expansions in, which is Luceland. So, but anyway, we'll go ahead and continue on. Halfling. Halfling has the best experience bonus. They are positive experience bonus. It's I believe they get 10 to 15% experience bonus. I may be wrong, but you can have a halfling leveled before a human is half level. So I mean, it's just absolutely good for that. Also, strength isn't that bad compared to, say, a gnome. Also, they start with good stamina, same as the human. They have high agility, high dex. Also makes a good paladin whenever they added that in later on. Just an overall great warrior. Now we'll go ahead and get into the highest negative experience bonuses, but you'll see why. Let's go with the ogre first. Ogre has the highest strength and stamina in the game. This will make for getting 255 really fast. Um, you're harder to kill, but it takes longer for you to heal also. So even though you have all those heals that are going on, you have so much health that you have to heal that it's not that it's gonna burden you or anything. You're probably not gonna die at all with an ogre, but again, it still takes skill. The other thing is that they cannot be stunned. This is probably everyone's number one go-to for the warrior. Again, they have the worst. Well, they don't have the worst negative experience bonus, but they're pretty bad. So the only negative for an ogre is a negative experience bonus. It's all positives for the ogre, I think. Lastly, the troll, the highest negative experience bonus in the game. Mainly because they have increased passive health regeneration. And later on, when Kunark came out, the Ixar had the exact same negative experience bonus. But with the health regen, you can continue fighting longer. And then 2 levels in, you already have your first heal. And so it's just, Troll is a great one to go with. They have decent strength and stamina, over 100 for each, and they have good agility starting. So that's the warrior. That's the classes. The classes that, I'm sorry, the races. But the race that I probably would go with is Ogre first, Barbarian second. The only reason, like I said, I took the Barbarian is that I have a clicky racial skill, and it ended up not really doing me any good. So I'll be remaking to an Ogre soon, but that's not going to happen until I'm level 50. Let's go ahead and, while we have a little bit of time, I'll go ahead and play my warrior. And we'll try to show you a little bit more of how their abilities work and what it is that each one does. So we'll go ahead and pull something. Okay. I have a new ability, but we'll go through these one by one. First off, we have Furious Scorn. This debuffs them so that they don't do so much damage. I believe I showed you this in the last video. We have Avenging Strike. If you have at least 60% rage, then you can use it to heal. But it takes 20 fury. So it takes a lot, but when you have something like this you're fighting, it's not really that much. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and debuff this Froglock Priest. We'll go ahead and dot him. Go back over to the fungus drone. And I'll talk about that dot a little bit. Let's go ahead and get a heal going. So the hemorrhage is a damage over time, 37 to 40 physical damage every 30 seconds for 24 seconds. Damage increases by 5% each tick. Damage is based on the weapon damage, so that can actually go up. Though I use it more as on things that I'm not actually fighting, so that things will go down. This is almost dead. We'll go ahead and finish this off. This right here is the decisive blow. It does 260 to 299 damage if the mob is below 40%. That's your killing blow. This is subjugate. If your attack is dodged, then you have a chance to do between 151 to 212, but you get a lot of crits on this skill. Kick, it takes no rage, and it does give a chance to interrupt spells. This is one of your good things to use against casters. Slam does the damage, plus it also stuns for a short amount of time. It also activates Pummel, which makes you invincible for 2 seconds, and also does a small amount of damage. Go ahead and heal, and summon another monster. Go ahead and do that. I did want to show something on this video. These icons here, these are, it looks like the icon he was wanting to put here is cut in half. So that's something that needs to be fixed for Explorer. I need to go ahead and debuff that priest. I didn't do that. We'll go ahead and decisive blow. And that does 204 damage. And we'll kick him. And we got a new item. I think I already have that item. There's a problem I'm having where I'm getting duplicates of items. I don't know what's causing it, but we'll see what that item is after the skill. So, kick, slam, pummel, avenging strike. This is our main heal. Like I said, hemorrhage is our damage over time. Subjugate, decisive blow, enrage. This gives us rage. This is triage, which gives us, which heals, and the lower our health is, the more healing it does. And this is our new spell, which is absorb spell, which keeps you from being hit by any spell. Let's see. For 3 seconds, you can negate the next spell cast on you and convert it to damage, to health, and fury. So that's kind of nice. Let's go ahead and get him dead. And let's check out this new item. But the spider wants to play. Okay, yeah, I have seen these before. These are a monk-based item, though it is cloth. One second here. Let me go ahead and get this debuffed, and I'll go ahead and talk about it a little more and get some healing on. But yeah, this is a monk item. Even though it's cloth, it's geared towards the monk because of the 3 to hand-to-hand. Also, the offense and defense bonus and physical damage. It's just plus the healing per tick. You want to have a lot of healing per tick kind of items like you did with the fungi tunic in EverQuest, just so that they can continue to fight without having to worry about dying. Also, monks get mend, so they have the ability to heal themselves. Again, it's just something that I already have. I'm not going to throw it away because I don't like throwing uniques away. But as you see here, I have two of these belts, one here, and I have two of these, one here, I have two of these, and two of these. So plus two of these. So I don't know what's going on. And this is something new that I got. This is something I'll put on my rogue whenever I make one. Because these aren't anything I would want to use. But yeah. Um, Still one of my favorite classes. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I just wanted to give you an overview of the Warrior just because it's become one of my favorite classes. There's a lot of changes that had to be made for it to become my favorite class. Just because straight out the bat, it was so hard to level. So hard because you were just sitting there. You had no abilities that were like a constant use kind of skill, and then Avenging Strike was changed, and that changed everything. But thank you again. I hope you have a good day. I'm going to keep fighting here. I want to try to get this guy level 50 as fast as I can. Thanks again. Bye.